Yeah, very good morning to all. And myself is Senthil. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, SA Engineering College. So today's section, we are going to see about the application layer protocols in computer networks. So application layer protocol is the highest layer in OSI models. So we have different protocols that we are going to use in application layer. So these are the content that we are going to see today classes. So first we go with the introduction, then we are going with www, HTTP, FTP, email, telnet, secure socket connection, DNS and SNMP. So first we go with introduction about an application layer protocol. So in application layer protocol we have two main architecture. One we call as a client server architecture, the second one we call as a peer architecture. So in client server architecture, a HTTP client is going to act as a browser and server part. Okay, in first the client will get a request to the server, then the server will be response to the client with help of HTTP request response protocol. Whereas in peer architecture, where we are going to connect the multiple systems without any server. We are going to use a LAN, and with help of the IP address, the data is going to transfer from one system to other system. Here a complete architecture about a client and server. So this part will act as a client and this part will act as a server. So what we are going to do, first the client will give a request to the server part. So and the server will accept and the server will be response to the client. Here the full complete binding operation will be taking place. Once the full complete binding operation will be taking place, the data will be transferred from client to server and server to client with help of the internet service. So as I told you, in the next type of architecture is a peer architecture, where you are not going to use any server system. So you are going to use multiple client system that we call point-to-point system. With the help of the LAN and IP address, we are going to connect with the system and the data will be transferred from one system to other system, that we call as peer-to-peer architecture. Next we move on to www. Also you all know, so what is www? Is World Wide Web. It was first introduced by Tim Berners-Lee in the year of 1989 and later in the year of 1991 it will be introduced in the world. So actually www is a software where you are going to connect multiple information or you are going to access multiple data around the world. Anywhere you can access. So that is the meaning of www, and it is a software which will be used in the network. And most of the browsers we are going to use, the latest browsers that we call as Chrome, Mozilla and Internet Explorer, we are going to use with help of the URL address. And the basic components of www, and we have a structured components where, as I told you, we have a client system, we have a server system. The client and server, the client will be connected to the server system with the help of internet, and we have a semantic components. So these are the main components that you are going to use in a web application. So first we going with HTTP. As I told you, HTTP request can be sent by the client and HTTP response can be sent by the server. Then HTML. So HTML is nothing but hypertext transfer markup language, and this HTML mainly used to design the front end part, that is client side. And we are going with XML part. XML is extensible markup language and it is in a server side part where the server will be generate this coding and it will be response to the client. And last we call as a uniform resource identifier. With the help of this URL address, the client is going to send a request to the server. This URL address will be converted into IP address, and the IP address we are going to access with the help of server. Then HTTP. So HTTP, as I told you, HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. With the help of this protocol, we are going to connect the client with server around the world. And we have two type of connection in HTTP, that is non-persistent connection and persistent connection. So in the non-persistent connection, first a client will be send a request to the server and the server will be response. After server will be response, server will be disconnect the connection. So that means for every client and server connection, there will be after server will be response to the client, the connection will be set as off, and again a new connection will be request to the client from to the server. This is non-persistent connection. Whereas in the persistent connection, so once a client is going to give a request to the server, server will be response. Again a client will be send a request to the server and server will be responded until the server is going to close the connection. The data will be passing from client to server, server to client. So this is persistent connection, and moreover we will prefer this persistent connection for what reason means if the data is going to transfer completely from client to server, from server to client, then only the connection is going to be getting off. So it is mainly used to protect the data in secured manner. Next type of protocol that what we are going to see is FTP. That is nothing but file transfer protocol. So in HTTP also you can transfer the file protocol, but if the file is too large, we can use FTP. So then this HTTP protocol that we are going to use in the URL address, FTP, so file transfer protocol. So as I told you, you can use HTTP also, but it is not secured. If you're going with a large size of files, you're going to transfer from client to server, from the server to client, so you are going to use FTP, which can transfer large amount of data. So data will be converted into packets in the networks, and without any packet loss, the data will be transferred from server to client in a highly secure manner. So actually we are going to see the exact mechanism how the file is going to transfer from client to server and server to client. So first we have a client machine. In the client machine you will have a user interface where you can design the front end part, and you have a control processor. The control processor make the transaction completed, and the data will be transferred from server to client or client to server without any packet loss. And data transfer process, here the actual file transfer will be taking place. So first the client will be request to the server, and server will be accepted, and it will bind the connection, and finally it will send the data from the server to the client with help of FTP in secure socket connection. And we have totally in FTP we have two type of connection. One is data connection and control connection. So as I told you, data connection is a non-persistent connection where for every client request the server will be response, and once the server will be response, the connection will be get off. It is like data connection. Whereas in the control connection, it is like persistent connection until the entire file is going to transfer from client to server or server to client. So once the file totally transferred, then only the connection will be take off. Then the next type of protocol that we are going to see is SMMP. This is simple mail transfer protocol, and this protocol is mainly used to transfer the email. So here we will use IMAP and POP3 concept in SMMP. So in SMMP, there are three major parts that we are going to see now. So that is, first we got as user agent, second message transfer agent, third message access agent. First we go with user agent. So user agent is nothing but first you need to create an account. You can create an Yahoo account, or you can create a Gmail account to access the email. So this is the general if you are going to create an email, that is a Google account, you will have a structure like this. You will compose the mail, or any mail that you are going to receive, you will be getting the inbox and draft, all the details will be seen, and you can, with the help of this agent, you can compose the mail or you can receive the mail. Next, message transfer agent, MTA. So MTA is a second part of SMMT. So MTA, what MTA will do? So if I am going to create an account, then I want to transfer or I want to send a mail. So first I need a system. So that is message transfer agent. The agent is nothing but the system. So I need a system to transfer the message. So I going with the message system. That system we call as receiving mail, and the system must have a server MTA. Okay, this is the architecture of SMMT. So first, as I told you, there will be a sender and there will be a receiver. First, I need a system to access a mail. Then the sender will send a mail from the MTA server. So MTA server will, the data will be saved in this MTA server, and you can attach the data or you can attach the files when you're going to compose, and with help of this SMMT protocol, the message will be sent to the receiver. In the receiver part also, they need a system or they need a device to receive the mail. Then the third part, message access agent. So here the message access agent, where we are going to see about the POP and IMAP. So here what we are going to do, if I am going to send a message, the receiver will receive a message, and receiver, if you want to send a message, I am going to receive a message. Here the POP3 message is going to play an important role. Why? So if I am going to send a message, I will have a pop-up message like message sent successfully. If the receiver will receive a message notification, like you will get a message mail notification like from the sender. So that is POP3 concept. And this is a structure for the email. So email address. So how we are going to send a message to a receiver with help of the IP address. So each and every user will have a separate IP address with help of the local port and domain name. For example, www.saec.ac.in, or for example senthilp@saec.ac.in. We have a domain name like saec.ac.in. We have a port number. So each and every user will have a separate port number. With help of this mail ID only, we can send a message from sender to the receiver, or receiver will send a message from receiver to the sender with help of this email address. And this is the main, if I am going to compose a mail, this is the main structure of a mail composition, where here we are going to have a two address you are going to type, and the subject of the content, and you are going to type the content, or you have an attached file, you can attach it and you can send it. And here we have a message format of email, where header will contain two. So which receiver you are going to send, the email address, and from address, that is your address, and the subject what you are going to send. And next type of protocol that is we are going to use is SSH, that is Secure Socket Shell, and this protocol is mainly used in the network where it is very highly secure transaction, and this protocol may be used in the government agencies or army agencies. If the data is highly confidential, we will use this type of protocols. Here what they are going to do is they are going to do a encryption and decryption process. So the sender will send a message. So once I am going to use this shell concept, so this message will be encrypted, and the encrypted message will be received to the receiver, and the receiver will be decrypted, and they will do some set of operation, or they will understand the message, and again they will reply from server to the client, again the same set of operation. So once the server will send the data to the client, the data what they are going to have encrypted, and the receiver will do the decryption option, and they will receive the message. And this concept will be used in shell. The shell is nothing but secure socket connection, where we are going to use a secure data, highly confidential data, that we are going to transmit it in the network. So next type of protocol that we are going to use DNS, so domain name server. So in a network we have n number of servers, so each server will have a separate domain name and separate IP address. So if you want to access a particular server, with help of the IP address you can access. For example, if I am going to access S Engineering College data, so I will have an S Engineering College website URL address, that is www.saec.ac.in. Once I am going to give a request from the client side, this www.saec.ac.in, that domain name will be converted into IP address. With help of the IP address, I can access the S Engineering College data, that we call as S Engineering College websites. So whatever we can access. So as I told you, the same example. So let us consider an email address, that is www.google.com. Here the google.com we have a domain name, and each domain name will have the separate IP address. So while giving in the browser point of view, so I am going to type a www.google.com. So we are going to enter. So what is happening? So we will get the Google website in our browser side. So the begin process, what is happening? So this google.com is a server name. This server name will be converted, or the exact name is we call it mapped into the IP address, and each server will have the separate IP address, and with the help of the IP address we can access the Google server. And the last protocol that we are going to use is simple, that is SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol. So in a network we can access many devices, like you can access a PC, or you can access a modem, or you can access a laptop, or you can access a printer, or you can access a hardware drive, you can access a port, and you can access any type of software in a network at the same instant of time without any collision occur. This protocol is used, that is Simple Network Management Protocol, mainly used to manage all the devices connected to us in a single network in the same instant of time without any collision occur. This management protocol is used. So far we have seen different types of protocols, and each different type of protocol we have seen different types of applications we are going to use in the application layer, and these protocols mainly used to solve or mainly used to develop a web applications around the world. Now we go with questions that we ask in the gate. So first question number 1, the TCP/IP protocol used for transferring email messages from one machine to another. So what they are asking, the TCP/IP protocol used for transmission of email, and going to transfer a email message. So what type of protocol I am going to use? So first option is FTP. As you all know, FTP is a file transfer protocol. We cannot use as a mail. The second is SNMP. So SNMP is Simple Network Management Protocol, and this protocol mainly used to manage. And the option C is SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and this protocol is mainly used to transfer the email in a TCP/IP protocol. So the correct answer is C. So question number 2, a person who uses his or her expertise to gain access to other people's computers to get information illegally or to do damage. So as I told you, in a network we are dealing with multiple resources. So maybe some unauthorized person can access your network, they can damage your information, or they can remove your information, or they can modify the information. For that, in order to avoid, we will use this SSL protocol, that is Secure Socket Shell, or you can use HTTPS. That is, S stands for secure. For then that reason, the hackers cannot be hacked. So in this question, what they are asking is, if a person is going to get damage your information, or a person is going to get access to information without your knowledge, and the person name. So what is the person we called as? So first we go with hacker. So option A is an hacker. It is the right answer. And analyst. Analyst will do analysis about the process. They will not damage the process, or they will not damage the information. And instant manager. A manager cannot be damage information or a data or a file. So the right option is option A. That is we call as hacker. So moving to the third question. So which of the following is not an application layer protocol? So which of the following is not application protocol? So we have seen different types of protocols for today's section. So among this type of protocol, which of the protocols we have not seen? We will check it out. So first option A, that is SCTP, that is Secure or we called as other name for S is nothing but steam control and steam control transmission protocol. The option B is HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. Option C is SMTP, that is simple mail transfer protocol. So far we have seen simple mail transfer protocol and HTTP, that is hypertext transfer protocol. So the protocol we are not seeing in today's class and which is not comes under this application layer protocol is SCTP, that is stream control transmission protocol. It mainly used to control the transmission. It is not in the application layer but it will control it. So this is the hardware part in the protocol layers. So the option A is correct one. So question number 4, which among the following is used for secure network? As I told you, so if I am going to use a network concept or if I am going to use an authorized network, in a government network or an army network, so whatever. So if I am going to use a secure network, that we call as the option C is a correct one, that is secure socket shell. So this is the correct option, because if I am going to use this particular protocol, so the data is highly confidential, they cannot be accessed or the hacker cannot be accessed particular in data in the network. So the correct answer is C, that is secure socket connection. Next, question number 5, a set of rules that facilitate communication between nodes in a network is called. So what they are asking, a set of rules. So rules in the network can be, so which part of the network will get in the rules, that we are going to see now. First, web services. So web services will not, it is not a rule, it is a service that we are going to do. And hypertext, so hypertext is a language that we are going to develop. And ordinance is nothing but an order. It is not a rule, it is an order. So that is the option D is a protocol. So option D is a correct answer. So a protocol is a set of rules. For example, each and every protocol there is a separate rule. For example, if I am going to transfer an email, I am going to use SMTP, that is simple mail transfer protocol. If I am going to transfer a very large file, I am going to use a rule, that rule we call as FTP, that is file transfer protocol. If I am going to transfer a data in a highly secured manner, so I am going to use SSH, that is secure socket shell. So each and every protocol will have a separate rule. So in this option, in this question, the correct option is option D, so that is the protocol. So far we have seen different types of protocols in application layers, and we have seen 5 questions about gate questions. Thank you all. I hope you all understand.